If you ever went to kindergarten in the US and you still remember nap time, this story might unlock something you buried. Quiet time means quiet. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, the kind of place where everyone trusts the school without question. Brick building, American flag out front, and playground with rusted swings that screamed louder than the kids. My kindergarten classroom was room 12. Our teacher's name was Mrs. Calder. She was tall, thin, always smiling, but never with her eyes. Her eyes followed you even when she was facing the board. As 5-year-olds, we didn't know what was wrong with that. We just knew the rules. There were many rules in room 12, but one rule mattered more than all the others. During quiet time, do not speak, do not move, and do not open your eyes. Quiet time was nap time. The lights would dim, curtains closed, mats laid out on the floor. And Mrs. Calder would say the same thing every day. If you hear footsteps, it's just the building settling. If you hear breathing, it's the vents. And if you hear crying, it's not for you. That last part always made my stomach hurt. The empty mat. There were 18 students in our class, until there weren't. One Monday, a girl named Maddie Collins didn't show up. Her mat stayed rolled up in the corner. Her name stayed on the wall. Her cubby stayed full. We asked where Maddie was. Mrs. Calder smiled. Maddie transferred. That was it. But the next day, during quiet time, I heard something from Maddie's corner. Scratching. Slow, careful. Like fingernails testing the floor. I didn't open my eyes. None of us did. When quiet time ended, Maddie's mat was unrolled. Dirty. Like it had been dragged. The closet. There was a supply closet in room 12. We were never allowed near it. If a ball rolled too close, Mrs. Calder would snatch it back immediately. If someone even looked at the door, she'd say, "That's where bad listening goes." One day, a boy named Tyler Brooks whispered during quiet time. Just one word. "I'm bored." Mrs. Calder stopped walking. She slowly knelt beside him and whispered something back. I couldn't hear the words, but Tyler started crying. Not loud crying, the kind where you're trying not to breathe. She took him by the hand and opened the closet. It was darker inside than it should have been. I swear I saw other hands in there. The door closed. Tyler never came back. His mat disappeared the next day. His name was peeled off the wall, and a new poster appeared. Listening kids are safe kids. What moves during quiet time? By spring, there were only 12 of us left. Quiet time got longer. The room got colder, and the sounds got worse. Footsteps that didn't match Mrs. Calder's shoes. Breathing that came from under our mats. Whispers saying our names in voices that sounded familiar. Once, I felt my mat shift. Like something underneath it was stretching. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. But I remembered the rule. Quiet time means quiet. I kept my eyes closed. Something brushed my ankle. It felt like a child's hand. The fire drill. The only reason I survived room 12 was a fire drill. The alarm went off during quiet time. Mrs. Calder screamed. Not like a teacher, like something furious. "Eyes closed," she yelled. "Stay down." But alarms mean leave. Teachers from other rooms burst in. Lights came on, curtains opened. I opened my eyes. The closet door was open. Inside were mats. Rolled up, stacked, with names written on them in crayon. Some of the mats were moving. Mrs. Calder was taken away that day. The school said she had a mental breakdown. Room 12 was sealed. Parents were told nothing. Now, I'm 26 now. I have a daughter starting kindergarten next year. Last week, while unpacking old boxes at my parents' house, I found something at the bottom of one. My kindergarten nap mat. I never took it home. Written on the back, in faded red crayon, "You listened. So you get to grow up." And underneath that, in smaller writing, "Quiet time is forever." If you still remember your kindergarten classroom, you might not want to finish this story. When I was 5, my kindergarten classroom smelled like glue, crayons, and something sour I couldn't name. The walls were painted yellow, with smiling animals everywhere. But there was one rule our teacher repeated every single day. Never use the red crayon unless I tell you. Not don't, never. At first, we thought it was funny. Red was kept in a separate box on the top shelf. Every other color was free. Green, blue, purple, no problem. But red, off limits. One day, during free drawing time, a boy named Ethan Rowe climbed onto his chair and grabbed the red crayon. The room went quiet. I remember our teacher freezing mid-step. Her smile dropped like it had slipped off her face. "Put it back," she said softly. Ethan laughed. Kids laugh when they're scared. He drew a stick figure with red eyes and said, "It's a monster." That's when the lights flickered. Our teacher walked him out of the room. No yelling, no punishment. She just held his hand and closed the door behind them. Ethan never came back. When we asked where he went, she said, his parents picked him up early. The next day, his name was gone from the attendance chart. The day after that, his cubby was empty. And a new rule was added. If you hear crying during nap time, keep your eyes closed. During nap time, I heard it. Soft, choked, like someone trying not to be loud. I peeked. Under Ethan's old table were tiny red crayon drawings spreading across the floor. Stick figures, all with their mouths open, all facing me. One of them was crying. The teacher stood over them smiling. "Nap time," she whispered. I closed my eyes. I'm 24 now. I recently visited my old school. The classroom is gone. Renovated, no yellow walls, no animals. But in the corner of the new room, behind a cabinet, I found something stuck to the floor. A single broken red crayon, and written next to it in shaky child handwriting. She said I could come back if I stayed quiet. Do not read this if you still remember your kindergarten teacher's face. Some memories are buried for a reason. This one crawls back. We learned how to disappear. People think kindergarten is harmless. Bright colors, songs, crayons, naps. That's a lie adults repeat because they survived it. Not everyone did. I went to kindergarten in rural Illinois, late 1990s. A one-story school surrounded by cornfields. No fences, no cameras back then, just trust. Our classroom was room B4. No one talked about the other B rooms. Only B4 stayed open every year. Our teacher was Miss Eleanor Fitch. She smelled like old paper and cold air. She never blinked much. When she smiled, it felt like she was remembering something happy that had nothing to do with us. On the first day, she told us, "This is where children learn how to stay children." We clapped. We didn't understand. The 4 rules. She taped 4 rules to the wall, written in thick black marker. Sit straight, hands visible, no talking during quiet time. If someone leaves, do not ask why. That 4th rule scared me more than the rest. Quiet time. Quiet time wasn't a nap. It was a test. Lights off, blinds closed, mats on the floor, placed too close together. You could feel other kids breathing. Miss Fitch would walk slowly between us. Her shoes never made sound. Before leaving us alone, she whispered, "If you hear movement, it's not for you. If you feel a touch, it's not your turn. If you open your eyes, you volunteer." The door would close, and then the room would change. What happened in the dark? The air got thick, hard to breathe. You'd hear dragging, soft crying, someone whispering, "I don't want to yet." Sometimes a mat would slide away. Sometimes a child would be pulled down, like the floor softened. No screaming ever lasted long. By the end of quiet time, someone was always missing. Their mat folded, their name gone, their cubby emptied before parents arrived. And no one broke rule number 4. The storage room. Behind the reading corner was a door with no handle on the inside. Miss Fitch called it the storage room. She said it held extra supplies. One day I saw inside. We were lining up for recess when the door cracked open. Inside were children, standing, sitting, some frozen mid-cry, all kindergarten age, all staring forward, all breathing slowly, like sleeping animals. Miss Fitch noticed me looking. She closed the door gently and said, "They're staying." That night, I wet the bed for the first time since I was 3. The kids who fought back, not everyone went quietly. Ryan Halverson screamed during quiet time and ran for the door. He didn't make it halfway. The floor opened, not wide, just enough. Hands came out, pulled, closed. Miss Fitch didn't even turn around. She said calmly, "Some children don't understand their place." Why it happened? I learned the truth by accident. Miss Fitch forgot me once. I was hiding in the bathroom during quiet time. When I came back, the classroom door was open. I heard her talking. "They rot if they age," she said. "Fear preserves them. Silence keeps them sweet. 5 is perfect. Before they question, before they change." Someone else replied, "A man. How many do you still need?" She answered, "Enough to keep the room alive." I ran. The fire. A week later, the school burned. Electrical fire, they said. Room B4 collapsed completely. Miss Fitch was never found. The missing kids were never mentioned. Parents were told transfers happened earlier than records showed. Life moved on. Now, I'm 29. My daughter started kindergarten last month. Yesterday, she came home quiet. Too quiet. I asked her how school was. She said, "We have quiet time. My teacher says if I behave, I can stay little forever." Then she showed me her classroom photo. On the door, in faded letters, room B4. In the corner of the photo, I saw faces, children, still 5, still waiting.